Hello, everyone. Oh my God, it's been a roller coaster of a day. Hello, everyone. My name is Zina Obasi, and this is another episode of the Waiting Room with Zina. Yay! Today is our episode 8. I can't believe we're here. Ah, boy, and don't I have something interesting for you today? All right, so like I said, my name is Zina Obasi. I'm the author of The Waiting Room with Zina, this amazing book. Please get yours if you don't have it. And also, I'm the host of this amazing program today. Wherever you're joining me from, I'm so happy that you are here. If you're joining me on Instagram, thank you, welcome. If you're joining me from Facebook and Zoom, thank you, welcome. If you're joining me from YouTube, and today is our first YouTube live. I'm so excited. I hope you guys can hear me very well. I'm so sorry for some reason, some technical reason. I don't have my mic with me, but I will project, and I believe that you're going to hear me very well. All right. If you're joining from Zoom and you have any issues, please look out for the passcode, okay? Because I just got a report now that some people are trying to join on Zoom, but is requesting for passcode. And the passcode will be posted across now. So check wherever you got your flyers from. If you can get it, fine, go and get it. If you cannot, just go to Zoom or Instagram. Tell your people if they complain, just tell them to go to Zoom, Instagram, or YouTube and join us live, okay? Well, welcome. Today, wow, I have an amazing, well, no, an interesting topic for you today. It's an interesting topic. Last week we started with this topic. We only handled some part of it, and today, hopefully, we can finish it. I will try my best to finish it within the time that we have. So, we are talking about your relationships while you wait. And for those of you joining for the first time, maybe you just saw the links and you click and you don't understand what this is all about. This program, like I said, the title earlier on, The Waiting Room with Zina, is an offshoot of this book. And this book was or is a chronicle of my experience in 17 years of waiting for children. I mean, it took everything, and everything. I can tell you that. If you are waiting, you know what I'm saying, or if you have waited, or if you know someone who did or is still waiting, it is very, very daunting. It's a very daunting experience. It will try every aspect of your life, your head, your brain, your mind, everything, your faith. It will try everything. So I went through it for 17 years. During the period of my waiting experience, it started out, of course, it was tough, it was bad, it was, it was really, really tough. But while I was waiting, I started getting some healing, some tips. As God was dropping them into my mind, I started writing them down, and that became this book. So if you don't have it, we are on Amazon, we're on Bamboo, so just go and look for it, or DM us wherever you're watching us from, so that we can get you a copy or help you get a copy. You need to read it to understand where I'm coming from. So after that, I had another body, to do more than just write the book. So now we are here talking to people who are waiting, those who have waited, and those who know people who are waiting or did wait, so that you can also understand how to help people who are waiting. So that's what this program is all about. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do not forget to also share, let people know, tell them to join. You can hit that notification button so that you will get our notification, because from now on we are going to be live everywhere. Isn't that exciting? We're going to be live on Facebook, Zoom, Instagram, and YouTube. Okay, so don't forget to hit that notification button so that you can follow us anytime we are coming on live. All right, thank you for being with us today, and I'm so excited to have you guys here. So now, the topic, like I said, is what are your experiences while you are waiting? So your experience while waiting, it's sorry, not experience, sorry, your relationship while you're waiting. The relationship you have. Last week we talked about your relationship with yourself, the relationship with your husband and the relationship with God. That was what we talked about last. Your husband or your wife, your spouse, and that of your relationship with God. That was what we talked about last week. Today, we are talking about your relationship with your in-laws. Did I hear someone say, I mean, this one is the most challenging. Is the most challenging of all relationships when you are waiting, because you have to deal with a lot of things for most people. Now, this is not everybody. Not everybody goes through this. Thankfully, I did not. I didn't go through the relationship wahala with my in-laws. Nobody called me one day, not even my mother or my father-in-law called me one day to ask me any question about my waiting experience. So, and my husband's siblings were not those kind of people. No, nobody gave me any stress. But I know that a lot of people who are married to, especially people from our side, from the East, they always have this, there are always stories. I mean, since I started this program, I've heard a lot much more than I used to know about what's going on. It's terrible. So that relationship with your in-laws is a very crucial part of your waiting experience. Do not neglect it, because it's very important. Now, I always tell people that the relationship with your in-laws while you're waiting is mostly dependent on what it was like when you came into the family. And now today's topic is mostly going to tilt towards women, because I needless to say that women are always the ones that are dealt, the harder blows when it comes to waiting. We all know that. So in this case, most of the time, it is a woman who receives from the in-laws the negative things we're going to talk about today. When I was living in River State, I heard about the story of a lady who was waiting at the time. Her in-laws used to come. Her mom-in-law would come once in a while. Sometimes she would come with her daughters. When they get to the house, they will just pack her things. Like, they pack the lady's things, throw it out of the house, and push her out as well. And they tell her they didn't get married to a man. So when they do that, she will run, she will cry, she will go to her friend's house, she will stay there until her husband gets back from work. And the husband will bring her back home. But all the time I heard this story, all the times, it didn't happen once or twice, all the times I heard about the story, never did I hear that the husband stood up one day and told the mother or the sisters to leave his house. If I say it on this program, somebody say, why would he ask his mother to go? But the woman will leave her home and come to another woman's matrimonial home and ask her, push her out. There was one episode, they threw her things from upstairs. They threw everything from the corridor, threw everything down, and practically pushed her out of the house, locked the door to her house. I mean, how does this help the woman to carry this same pregnancy that you are expecting her to carry? If you are a sister-in-law and all you do is leave your house or leave your husband's house, go to your brother's house to sit down and torment the wife because you have kids, you are not God. You are not God. You have to stop it. And for you, a husband, you sit down and allow someone else to come to your house and push your wife out of your matrimonial home, and you expect that woman tomorrow to forgive and forget and just move on like nothing happened. You need to read the Bible again if you're a Christian, or whatever you are reading. Just go back and ask, because there's no religion that supports that. I don't think so. In actual sense, who is waiting? The man and the woman. Both of you are in this together. So if you are both waiting, why are you treating it like it's the woman's problem and not the man's problem? So when people come in and begin to act like this, it means that, number one, they don't understand why or what they are doing, and someone needs to tell them. And I always tell people, the way you come into a family matters a lot. This will take me a little bit off this topic, which is some other thing I'm going to talk about later, but not on this show, maybe another show. Before you get married, before you say that I do, please make sure that you are not being pushed or forced into marriage. Make sure that you are accepted where you're going. Make sure that you have some respect for yourself and they know. I always say, be respectful, but do not be a pushover. Don't be a pushover when you're entering a family. Don't enter there without anything. Have some financial backbone. Get a job. All this, I'm in schools, 200 level, you go and get married, you go and start having children, and end up not finishing your school or your career or anything. It doesn't help you in the long run. So get to define yourself as a woman and get something like a means of livelihood for yourself. Define you before you enter anywhere. And when you get there, respect people, but don't be a pushover. Don't go there acting like, oh, they did me a favor to marry me. Because those are the things that will work against you in the future. When you go there and pretend and do the things that you know you would naturally not do, when the time comes, they will expect you to continue. So don't be a fake person. Don't go there licking butts when you know you are not that kind of person. So don't start what you cannot finish. That's just a summary of what I'm trying to say. Another point is that you have to stop tiptoeing around your in-laws, so to say, when you are waiting. Because when you do that, people have a way of sensing your fears. When you exude fear and you are trembling around them and you're carrying a guilt like, oh, I'm owing these people a child, I've not been able to give them the child, so you now start tiptoeing around them and start begging them and start, no. Change that mentality. Yes, you are waiting. You will not be the last. You are not the first. Focus on your focus. Focus on the problem you have and find a solution to it. Don't add people into your problem. Remain resolute on how to help yourself get the child, but don't carry people's wahala and put it on top of your head. You are running around trying to please everybody, and then they sense it and they victimize you, and then you keep quiet and you say, what will I say? I never give them pikin. Are you God? You are not God. Don't let nobody victimize you. You are going through a lot already as it is. And for those of you that see a woman who is waiting and you think it's okay to say, when are you going to have a child? When are you going to give my brother a child? Will you keep quiet? Seriously, you need to shut up. Because you do not know what that woman is going through. And for the man who sits there and allows people to come and ride over your wife and give her heat, on top of the problem she already has, do you know what a woman goes through? When you see those red robots every month. I said I was there for 17 years, so I know very well what I'm talking about. So women take a lot of things and they carry it and say, you don't get pikin now, so you just have to manage. Manage what? I mean, we that is down, this fear no fall. That's why I say have a means of livelihood. If they say they know they do again, it's not by force. But to go and kill yourself on top, I don't support that. They will write over you. They will give you all kinds of problems, insult you, victimize you, push you around, and nobody is there to defend you. You don't have a man defending you, and you are fighting all these battles by yourself. While doing that, you are still trying to get pregnant. How? It is already difficult as it is. So if they make the situation worse for you, you need to stand up. If nobody is defending you, defend yourself. My next point is couples, you need to be in this together. If you are not together, you are not together. It cannot be paying me more than it's paying you. Both of us, we have to be in. To stick together and face it together. If your mother comes to stress your wife, tell her to go to her house. It's not an insult. You just advise her to go back to her house. If your sisters come to your house to give your wife stress, tell them to go home. Let's stop all of this. You allow them to, and then church will even make it worse and say, you are supposed to keep. No. I will not keep quiet. No, I won't. So nobody should keep quiet and endure what you know is not good for you. Because at the end of this program, I'm going to tell you where all of these go to. All these things that we think we are enduring. Let me tell you something. No resentment, pain, all of those unforgiveness, they don't burst into air. No, they are going somewhere. They are going somewhere. And where is it going? I'll just tell you now. It goes into your body and it causes cancer. Go and research. Most of the people in their 60s, 70s, after they've lived their lives, most women, they get cancer. Most women, and then they die after all the suffering because of what they've gone through in their marriages. Because they say keep quiet. In my dialect, they say diwundidi. Marriage is, husband is patience. So husband is synonymous to patience. How about the husband is patient with me? Why must you be the one carrying everything, all the negative vibes, all the words, all the wickedness? Everybody just keeps dumping it on you, and then you keep smiling like you are the one. Are you the one? Why? No, you don't have to. That's why I'm bringing to you. You really do not have to. So you must stick together, because at the end of the day, never forget, you are the most affected. Husband, wife, you are the most affected in this waiting game. So if you are a husband that wants to support the family over your wife, know that you are causing your wife pain. You are causing her heartache. You are causing her unforgiveness. You are causing her resentment. In your mind now, you people are okay, because at the end of the day, she allows you to have sex. You think she has forgiven you and you are okay. Then tomorrow, those people you think are surrounding you, they will leave you. Ask them now. Ask them and meet men in their 80s. Most of them, they don't have nobody anymore. It is still that woman that they suppressed and maltreated all through. Some of them, they leave the wives, they go outside and have children, and then they come back at the end of the day when there's no money. When they are sick, it is still that first wife that takes care of them. So what are we saying? You might as well make this marriage work. It is two of you in the marriage. So endure together. Protect your wife. Stand up for her. Stop leaving her out to hang and dry on her own. And then there's this one I don't even understand. Family meeting. People who have their own children and their own lives and their own families, they will now call you for a December meeting, or any time there's a program. They will call you together and ask you to sit down. What is happening? Why have you now carried belly for our brother? Excuse me? And you sit down, you are enduring it. So that they will call you good wife. So that they will allow you. If you like, pretend from here till tomorrow. Even if their brother dies, they don't know you. Whether you have children or you don't have children, they don't know you. If they can treat you that bad, when he's there, trust me, when he's gone, you are gone. So I don't know why you're pretending. Stand up for yourself. Put your feet down and say, no, you don't talk to me like that. Okay? Stand up for yourself. And this standing up, sometimes you don't need to say anything. You don't understand. You don't need to say too much every time. Sometimes it's in the mind, it's in your stance. There's something called stance. They say in my village, in my place, they say you go look woman face before you go ask her for friendship. There are some people that will come to your house and they see you. They know now. But when you go around, walking around like a lily-livered person and you're begging them and you're... they will trample on you, walk over you, and still go and come back the next time. So take your stance. And take your stand. And stop taking all these things, because it's not good for you. It's not healthy for you. Every hurt, like I said, you go through, they stress you out and they manifest in the next 20, 30, 40 years. And they come back to haunt you. So you have a right to say no to anything that will attack your peace of mind. You don't have to take it. Before I get to the final point, I'm going to share a story. While we were waiting, because some of you might think I'm just here running my mouth without any experience. Fine, my in-laws did not trouble me. But I think on the first or second episode, I told you how my mom used to always pounce on me. Anytime I entered the house, she would pounce on my tummy and start praying. The thing was disturbing me. This was my mother, my mom, that loved me, and I loved her, still do, even though she's late. She would pounce on my tummy and start praying. The first few times I was a little bit somehow, but I was taking it. At the time I started avoiding her. True story. I was avoiding my mom. I was running away from her. When I get to her house, I don't want to go greet her. I'll just maybe spend like an hour before I see her. But even if it takes me 1 year, she will still go and do the same thing. So one day I had to call her. I said, Mommy, please. I told her in her room. I just took her to her room and I talked to her respectfully and calmly. I said, Mommy, this thing you are doing is not good for me. Because once she does that, it reminds me of what I'm going through. It was even worse after my son died, and she would now do the same thing. So the whole pain will be with me. I'll be depressed as I'm leaving the house. So I said, no, I had to talk to her. I said, pray for me, but not while I'm here. Just do it when I'm gone. And she's apologized and understood, and we moved on. This was my mom. What if it was my mother-in-law that was doing that? That I didn't grow up with, that didn't raise me? How do you think that would feel? And if you now raise up your voice to tell, they will say, don't say. Meanwhile, you keep quiet and die in silence. So I had to end it. That's on my mom's side. Now, one day, my husband and I went to see my dad. We got there, and my dad called us into his room, and he had something to discuss with us. So when we got to his room, he then started talking to us about a solution to our problem. I can't even, the solution was so crazy and all of that. He was just saying, as he was just getting to hit his point, my husband just stopped the talk immediately. He said, Daddy, is it about children? He said yes. That he has this, and my husband said, excuse me, you want grandchildren? He said, of course I do, I want grandchildren. My husband said, well, 2 of your younger daughters have 2 kids each. That's 4 grandchildren. He said yes. My husband said yeah, so you have grandchildren. And the other ones, hopefully they will get married and they will have. My father said yes, but I mean you. My husband said, excuse me, do not ever, that's how you put it, say, do not ever put my wife through this again. My father looked at him like this. He didn't know when he shook his, he nodded his head like this and said, okay. My husband repeated it, am I clear? Never, ever, ever call my wife and put her through this again. We are the ones waiting for children. Let us deal with it. It's not your problem. You want grandchildren. You have 4 already. More are coming. Concentrate on them. Wow. He said it to my dad. I was like, eek. That was the last time he called my husband and meddled. He didn't stop meddling. At least he tried 1 or 2 more times with me. And of course, I respectfully told him off. No, there's a way you tell someone, respectfully just told him, Daddy, this topic, cancel, delete, no, pack it aside. Not listening. Because when you do not stop that, it goes into your head. You start having issues with the person, or start quarreling, or start losing peace of mind. No, there's no need for that. But that singular action my husband did that day showed my father something. That this man can protect my daughter anywhere, any day. And before I even got married, while we were dating, there was a day my mother-in-law of blessed memory said something. Someone had told her that it's like your daughter-in-law is pregnant. And when she mentioned to my husband, I said, is your sister-in-law pregnant? One of my sisters-in-law was waiting at the time. And my husband was like, did they tell you they were pregnant? She said, no. My husband said, so why are you asking me? She said, well, my husband stopped it immediately. The way she switched around the story, my mother-in-law was like, my husband just stopped it, and my mother-in-law switched to another story immediately. I was like, wow. Now, that is how you protect your wife. He protected his sister-in-law and his brother while they were not there. How much more me, if anybody had dared? So even if people wanted to, they know who she's married to, that he would not accommodate that. So he would stop you in your tracks. So you, husband, it's your job to protect your wife. When you expose your wife to your family members and then allow her, women will now begin to talk anyhow, to shout, to fight their battle, because nobody, anytime you go to a family and you see the wife always shouting and talking, it's because the husband is weak. He doesn't know how to stand up and man up and help protect his wife. Why would you leave her to fight her battle by herself? But like I tell women, if he's not fighting for you, fight for yourself, because at the end of the day, it is your mental state of mind you should be more concerned about. Anything. Because I had to do it. I had to switch. My husband was not there every time, 247. Of course, I didn't have any issues from my in-laws, like I said, and I didn't have from my family members. But outsiders, which is the last topic I'm going to discuss now, relationship with everyone else. And it is everyone else, but they will not keep quiet. They will not drink water and drop cup, and they will not let you. They will not allow you to have peace of mind. They will keep reminding you about your problems. Time will fail me to tell you 2 or 3 of my own experiences. There was a day somebody called me out of the blues and said, my sister was in the UK and was barren. His words, not mine. But there's this medication she bought and drank, and now she has children. I will call her and ask her for that medication so I can send it to you. That is it. The thing entered like this, hit my brain, came out, and that was when I was trying to be nice. When I went back home and told my husband said, no. What did you say to him? I said, I didn't know. He said, next time, tell him that it's none of his business. I had to switch, because all of those things, when they tell you during the day, imagine going to a program. If you're not waiting, you don't understand what I'm saying. It is only people who are waiting, because if you're not waiting, you say, she's just talking. It is when you have waited, even 2 years, people will relocate to your house for your problem. They will buy Panadol for your headache and drink. My brother, my sister, in case you are a man and they are doing this to you, or a woman, which of course I know they are doing to you, you don't have to. My point is, you don't owe anybody explanation, number one. You do not have to tell them why you are waiting, because some people want to know what are your medical problems. It's not because they have solution or they want to proffer some. They just want to have stories to talk about. You don't have to listen also to the negative things that are coming out of their mouth. A few weeks ago, I told you people how one guy came and told me he's all these spiritual people. He said he saw himself, not me, and God told him that he was my mother-in-law, because that's what he was referring to when he said the old woman in your husband's family that was responsible for my problem, according to him. The thing didn't sit well in my mind. After 2 days or so, when I saw him, or the next day, I can't remember, I had to call him. And I stopped him and I told him, what you told me the other day. He said, yes. I said, it's not for me. I want to give it back to you. That was literally how I gave it back to him. My sister, deliver yourself. You don't have to wait and let people come and dump negative things in your mind and you think it's going to be okay. You will not forget. So if you don't forget, it will begin to grow taproot inside your mind, begin to gather negative dust around you. You don't need it. So you can stop it. You can walk away. Somebody called me one time. I was trying to provide one stupid solution to me. I just told the woman, I tried to tell her, no. She kept talking. I can apologize to you later, but no, I'm not a dustbin. You can't carry negative things and dump in my head. I don't want to hear it. So you can walk away. You can choose not to listen. You can choose not to talk. You can choose to just change the topic. And if they don't want, stop the conversation. If it is a visit, get up and go. If they are in your house, tell them to go. You can. Nobody will have a gun to your head, because at the end of the day, you have to protect your sanity. So you don't have to do, that's the final point, you don't have to do anything that you are not okay with. Because it is your mother-in-law telling you there's a prophet somewhere, you should come, let's go. You don't have to. Because it is your mother telling you there's a native doctor somewhere, you should come, let's go. You don't have to. Because they are your parents or because they are your in-laws, so that you will please them and not look like you are not serious about these children that you're looking for. It is not their problem. You are the primary carrier of this problem. And as long as you and your husband are together, working together, and even if he's not working with you, work for yourself and run for your dear life. You don't have to do it. Okay? So that is all I have for you today. I covered all my topic. I didn't know I was going to do that. All right, so I'm so excited. We've come to the end of the show today. Next week, Friday, is another day, and we're going to be talking about options. Next week is going to be our 9th episode. This is a 13 episode season. After this, we'll go into something else. So just follow us every day as we show up. Just come back and watch again, go back to our YouTube and watch again. If you have not subscribed, please use this opportunity to do so just now. Just do it. Subscribe, hit the notification button, follow us on Facebook. Our Facebook page, the links are there. You can follow us on Instagram, the links are there. You can follow us on YouTube. Just subscribe and let's do this again next week, Friday, 9 p.m. West African time. From me to you, do not forget, God is the giver of children, and however He chooses to give to you, just accept and remain grateful. God bless you. I remain Zyna. I love you guys. Bye.